Hello there, Libra, and welcome to your June 2026 reading. This is for all Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. We're going to pull out some cards for you, some messages for the month ahead, and have a quick look and see what planetary influences are going on as well. So we do start out the beginning of the month. The first few days are going to be a little higher in intensity with the full moon in Sagittarius energy. It was a blue moon. So it was the second full moon in the month of May. And with Sagittarian energy, it is about freedom and adventure and fun, also seeking truth, authenticity, seeing the big picture. It is one of the signs of freedom. And, it does encourage you to check your baggage at the door. So being in that full moon energy is really a important time for you to see what are you clinging on to? What is not working for you anymore? And, it can be anything from a train of thought to maybe a certain goal that has maybe you're just pursuing it out of habit and because you think that maybe you're supposed to, but it might not resonate with you personally anymore. So we're going to feel it for sure the first few days of the month, but it really will power us through all the way up until the new moon in Gemini on the 14th. Okay, so that new moon is, a really great time to explore your options, to, figure out, how to put your big ideas into focus. Great for all forms of all forms of communication, technology. The new moon can represent, of course, a time where we plant our seeds of intention. So that first couple of weeks can really be about cleansing and purging, but it can also be about receiving because that full moon can bring a little bit of specialness to it, can bring some surprises, and it can bring a little bit of luck because Sagittarius energy is ruled by Jupiter. Speaking of whom, on the 9th of June, mark your calendar here, guys, because we do have a beautiful, beautiful aspect. Sometimes it's considered the luckiest day of the year, but this is something we can see happening in the sky. So look up into the cosmos, and you will see Venus and Jupiter getting closer and closer and closer together. They're bright planets. You can see them quite frequently, if not all the time, and they are coming into a conjunction. So they are going to kiss each other in the sign of Cancer. And Jupiter in Cancer is exalted. It's at its best. Venus is our planet of love and money, and it's your ruler. So this can be really wonderful for you for new relationships, new beginnings, positive changes, some blessings, love and romance, finding resources that you need, or just plain old being in the right place at the right time. So really do something good, do something fun on that day if you can. Love, luck, and harmony are all highlighted here. And this aspect can certainly bring you things that you need to feel fulfilled without feeling like you're struggling for that. Right. So Jupiter's luck sometimes does come in as something like, whoa, right in your face as a surprise. But it can also just be the more subtle forms of luck, like just happening to be at the right place at the right time. You weren't going to go out, to the coffee shop that day, but at the last second you decided to, and whoa, you meet the love of your life, that kind of thing, right? So sometimes it's just those little kind of subtle ways. Venus, of course, can bring new beginnings, creativity, resources. It's very fertile energy. So Venus and Jupiter coming together in the sign of Cancer. Let's just say it's great if you're looking to start a family or expand it, because pregnancies can come out of that one. So there could be a little bit of an announcement about a pregnancy. Uranus will shake up our month here a little bit on June 12th. It is coming into a square with the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. So this can sometimes be a little frustrating, but Uranus is showing you something. Uranus is the great awakener. We can awaken to spirit. That's Pisces energy. We can awaken to inspiration, but we can also awaken to things that we are holding on to, that they're not working anymore. That's that Virgo energy. What do you do day to day your daily habits, patterns, routines, right? If you are trying to lose weight, this shows you that, hey, I'm still doing this habit. No wonder the scale's not budging, right? This can be, you want to have more time to do creative things in your life, but it's highlighting where you're wasting time. Are you staring at your electronics all day, right? Get your head out of the phone and live life to the fullest. So it can really highlight some things that way. Venus, your ruler, moves into Leo on the 13th. And so this can be fun. It can be exciting. It can be, Venus goes into Leo every single year, right? And sometimes, some really wonderful changes come about because of it, right? Venus, I don't think Venus is going retrograde this month, so you're good. I think you're good there. So Venus in Leo, take charge, be the lead player. You could connect with people who are in leadership roles. But this is really about Leo loves to have fun, right? But this can also be where, focus on your goals, right? Take charge of things in your life, okay? But Venus will immediately aspect a bunch of different planets for the first week or so, and so a lot of them are really positive, and then there's a couple where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna kind of make you focus on the humble side of things, okay? So don't get a little too big for your britches. Sun moves into Cancer on the 21st, and of course, the second half of the month, we are in Mercury retrograde shadow period for 2 weeks. Mercury turns retrograde on the 29th, which is the same day as the full moon in Capricorn. Okay, so you might get something that comes back around again. You may be giving something a second thought. But of course, a full moon can bring things to fruition. Let's see what the cards have for you. And we have a focus on relationships in this month. Okay, so relationships, intimacy, freedom, acceptance, and trust. Okay, so are you surrounded with people that, that's getting out of hand. Are you surrounding yourself with people, friends, family, business relationships, love and romance? Are you surrounded with people that are good for you, that you trust, that you're in a supportive, symbiotic relationship, or is it one-sided? Has it outgrown itself? And so this is a month where you might really be finding that focus on relationships, examining the ones you have. Maybe you're drifting away from some others, but it's also an opportunity to perhaps start something new, right? Because part of this is freedom, okay? Part of it is acceptance, okay? Accepting people for who they are, right? But also being accepted for who you are is really important here as well. So relationships highlighted for you. And we have solar flares activate. Okay. This is talk about putting spark to a flame, right? Solar flare energy is like, this thing is coming towards you. This thing is activated. This thing is moving full speed ahead. And so solar flares can be really interesting. They can be disruptive though. Okay. But this is really saying here that there's something activating for you. Change is in the air, okay? And this energy is very supportive of your work. It is a restless energy, okay? It can be revolutionary, and it can also represent being curious about things here as well. So, like a spark to a flame, curiosity killed the cat, right? What are you interested in? What do you want? Is there something new out there, or is there somebody new out there? Right? This can be a very exciting time for you. Okay. And it can be very fast moving. So basically, when we have the solar flare energy, this is not necessarily a time to sit back and do nothing. Okay. Just like Venus moving into Leo, it's action energy, right? Leo likes to get out and have fun, do things, take charge of things, be the leader of things, be in the spotlight sometimes as well, right? But we're not sitting back and just chilling, right? We're doing things, and it can just be doing fun things, right? So this can be wonderful energy, but it does magnify. When we get this card, it magnifies any other cards that we pull. This is the sun, right? It's the sun energy. So so with relationships, this can really give you clarity in relationships. It can also highlight some positive aspects of relationships, but at the same time can also shine the light on things that maybe you need to work through or focus on with relationships, and maybe you need to potentially move on from some there. Okay, but the sun is bringing you this kind of high voltage gift. So if you've been feeling a little bit lackluster, if you've been feeling like nothing's happening, things are about to happen for you. Let's get some more cards out here for you guys. Your overall energy for the month, we got the Queen of Wands. There's some fiery energy for you. Queen of Wands can certainly be really quite creative. It can be very independent, okay? And also very trustworthy, all right? So in this, you're being called upon to trust yourself. And we already do have trust coming out there in the relationship card, right? The relationship energy. This can be about being your authentic self and believing in yourself, right? And when we're in this kind of energy, we do not surround ourselves with people that pull us down, that drag us down, that aren't supportive, or that don't just love us for who we are, right? Because the Queen of Wands doesn't put on a mask, right? Doesn't hide behind a veil, right? She is out there. She's like, I'm me, and I'm proud to be me, and you can take it or leave it. You can love it or hate it, and I'm good either way. The Queen of Wands can also just be you tapping into your fiery side, and not just being the leader, but also making the right decisions for yourself and trusting yourself in the process, and also living your best life, living your life to the fullest. So so really kind of grab your fiery, passionate side and trust in the process, trust what you're doing. Now, the Queen of Wands there can also potentially be a really powerful ally for the month ahead. This can be a new person that enters your life. This can be someone you already know. Sometimes the Queen of Wands can present as like a best friend. And so your friend that, your friend will always be honest with you. You can have fun together. You know each other's secrets. You probably know where some bodies are buried. And, you know that this person is somebody that you can really, really trust, right? They're not going to sugarcoat anything or pull the wool over your eyes. And they're probably really fun to be around. All right. So this can be an important, prominent figure in your life this month. The back of the deck, we've got the Magician. Beautiful. Now, the Magician, we've got focus. We are creative. We gather resources that we need. And of course, we also tap into our inner magic. What do you want to manifest? What do you want to create? What do you want to change? Where is your focus? Okay. This energy at the back of the deck can represent that there might be something you don't see coming. There might be a surprise. Okay. And it's because of the energy that you're putting out there. Something's flowing back to you in a wonderful way. The Magician can also just be this underlying energy that you have a lot of firepower coming in here. And just remember that, because all of this energy really here is really quite positive. Okay. And of course, your planetary ruler, right, Venus, is on the move, and she's also making some really good aspects along the way. So just make sure that you are doing a little gut check with yourself every once in a while. Where is my energy? Am I focusing on what I want to create? Am I focusing on what I want to activate? Right? Am I focusing on spending time and energy with the people that I have a positive relationship with, right? Or am I focusing on the opposite? Am I focusing on what I don't have? Am I focusing on what's too expensive? Am I focusing on, the things that I wish that I could change? Or am I letting myself be, sucked in or manipulated by people that maybe don't have my best interests at heart, right? Is it time to move away from these things? And so the magician does remind us about that we create our own reality. There's a lot of things going on in the world. Okay. We can't ignore them. Okay. We do need to be aware of them. Okay. Awareness can be your best friend, but we don't want to be sucked into things, right? Because we can quickly go down a rabbit hole of negativity and we feel powerless instead of powerful. Okay. And if we focus too much on all of those worldly things that are going on, then we lose our focus from the things that we have the power to create. And yes, our energy that we put out there, right, does have a ripple effect. Okay. And if enough of us put out all this beautiful energy, then we will have the power to change things for the better, right? But in your immediate world, right, our thoughts, our energy, what we put out comes back. So if we want abundance, we need to be abundant. If we want love, we need to be love and project love. It all comes back to us. So that magician is always a reminder of that. Your message from Spirit, the Three of Pentacles. Teamwork makes the dream work here, people. So the Three of Pentacles is Spirit saying that this might be a great time for you to connect with other people. Okay. Whether it is in a spiritual community, a creative community, maybe it's something in your workplace, right? Your relationships perhaps with other people, right? Make sure that you are creating a community for yourself with people and relationships where you support each other. You don't all have to be the same. You don't all have to know the same things, right? You can learn from each other because the Three of Pentacles can be an energy here of, you can seek out a third party like mediation and things like that for things that need to get to the bottom of or need to fix. But you can also, find yourself in an environment where we're connecting with people we can learn from each other. It is a part of learning and teaching and guiding. So, maybe you've got a couple of friends. You all have different talents, but perhaps there's something you can do or something you can create where you can each tap into each other's talents, right? And it can be fun. A knowledge group of people, right? So a spiritual community, perhaps, where no one is there to judge. You gotta be careful with some of those things, just like any online group, right? They start out good and then quite often turn toxic and judgy, right? And so, just be careful where you do connect, but this can be where you either form or connect with that group of people that shares knowledge with each other and supports each other and lifts each other up. That Three of Pentacles can also represent, Spirit saying to you that this is a great time of creation for you to create that life that you want, to create the things that give you pleasure and joy. What are you wanting to create? Because it is a three. Threes represent creation. Three represents the Empress card, right? Which is ruled by Venus. Three being creation is the basis of manifestation, and you do have the Magician card. So Spirit's really trying to remind you here, right, of your power to create. But also look at what you've created so far, right? That Three of Pentacles, we've created some wonderful things, okay? So give thanks and be grateful for everything that you have. Maybe it's not everything that you want right now, but that's not where we're going to put our focus. You can write some intentions to attract the things that you want and change your reality. Very powerful time for you. Your prosperity message, Eight of Wands. Well, that's a good one. Eight of Wands is awesome. You might have some really good news coming in that affects your prosperity situation here in the month ahead. So this can represent good news, positive communication, something exciting. The Eight of Wands is exciting. Okay, but this can also represent your ability to overcome obstacles with ease. Okay, those 8 wands, they fly through the air. They leapfrog over any kind of struggles or challenges, and they're on target. Okay, they're on target for goals and dreams or just some positive momentum here. And so it's a really exciting energy. There's a buzz in the air when we get that 8 of wands. Okay, so be open and aware for good news, but also be ready for action. Okay. And again, just like the solar flares energy there, right? Action, action, action. Okay. So if you've been kind of feeling like things have been going maybe either sideways or a little bit slow, this is getting you right back on target. This is getting you right back on track to wherever you need to be. The 8 of wands can also represent that your key to success or forward movement here is about being flexible and adaptable, right? The number 8 is the infinity symbol, and it is flexible, adaptable. It's also no beginning, no end. Everything flows, okay? And it's a sign of abundance as well. So we want to have that there for your prosperity. Very exciting energy there for you. And your relationship message, Page of Pentacles. Okay. Now, the Page of Pentacles pages do typically bring news and information. And as the Page of Pentacles lives up to that reputation, this can also, this can represent a higher level of commitment in relationships. It can also represent some good news in regards to knowledge, in regards to some information. It can also be gifts and opportunities that are headed your way. It can represent that higher level of commitment and potentially new people entering your life with that Page of Pentacles. If you have children, there could be something going on here with one of your children in the month ahead. It's in the upright. Okay, so we're good there. All right. But they are holding a pentacle. So this can very much represent some financial things going on with one of your children. They might bring you a gift. That would be great. Maybe they start paying you rent or something like that. But this can also represent that you might need to fork out some money for one of your kids. Maybe it's for summer camp, perhaps because this is a pentacle with knowledge, and Page of Pentacles can certainly be on the quest for knowledge, right? A little bookwormy energy sometimes. And so maybe you've got the bill for school, right? And so you have to buy some stuff or pay some bills there, but it's for a good cause. Like, it's not the reverse, right? So even if you do have some money going out the door for one of your children, it might hurt going out the door, but it's for their better and higher good. It's to elevate their situation. It's for their education, right? So it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Okay. But the Page of Pentacles can represent, an offer of a commitment. It can represent a new person you connect with. It can represent relationships of all kinds, right? So relationships are in the spotlight for you. And this is friends, business relationships, romantic, family relationships, all this stuff, right? So that Page of Pentacles can represent some improvements in your connections, and also new ones coming in that might be really, really interesting. So we gotta love that. All right. Overall, I would say some really positive energies that are activating. Ooh, thank you for you guys. So we'll take it. We're going to get a couple of blessings here for you guys to round out your reading. And there is your first blessing. You are blessed regardless. Every experience enriches us and those around us in some way. Regardless of what we achieve or don't achieve, do or don't do, all is a blessing in one form or another. Nothing is a mistake, for all serves as a divine purpose. All is blessed. And there's your next blessing. A blessing woven in time. The present circumstances are guiding you to a sacred space inside you from where you will see things more clearly. Look through the eye of the soul and you will find the answer. This card is a blessing woven in time. The time will soon come. Those are your messages, Libra. I will leave those there for you. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If so, please do like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys have a fabulous June. I will say with your money and career readings, those are posted for you if you want a lot more detail. And just click on the money and career playlist down below and you will find your reading in there. But I thank you guys and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.